Anyways, so right now we are seeing the Pimp's defense come out in force. It's going to be Durs on Pharah, Desro Lord on Lucio, Buds on Reinhardt, Melramon? Mr. Lemon on Reaper, Booner on McCree, and V on a second Lucio.
Okay, and so, wait, red is false reality, yes?
Red is false reality, blue is Pimps.
Is Pimps. Okay. Well,
Our
red,
Pimps. I mean,
I'm going to give red a second, you know, just a second. I've been duped before. I've been had before trying to call teams early. All right, about 10 seconds in, I'm going to go ahead and say Zelnick is going to be playing Pharah, Cell's going to be playing Reinhardt, Soup Base on our first Genji of the day, Zenyatta is going to be played by Firesky, Zarya on Chance, and Ferg is going to be Lucio.
Yep, and interesting to see the offensive Zenyatta. That is not something we've seen too often. Teams really have been, you know, opting for that offensive mercy play. And we see Soup Base going in. He is very far in the back. He is using that Zenyatta orb to maximum effect. I think that is why they went with the Zenyatta, just to let this Genji go in the back and do crazy Genji-like things.
Yeah, and you don't have to worry about a Genji who's got that orb on him, and a big aggressive push so far has taken out 3 players on Pimps.
Yeah, Soup Base getting not 2, but a triple kill towards the end. And that's some really top-notch Genji play, and we're gonna see False Reality take the first point in short order.
Yeah, that's it. They just almost had to concede that point. As soon as they lost too many players, you don't want to trickle in and die, then lose like any positioning you have on a defensive front here.
Yep, and False Reality, is it getting hot in here? Because I think most of their team is on fire.
The Soup Base, which is a wonderful name, just did go down, and it does look like Pimps is going to be trying to hold at these center S roads, as I mentioned before on this map, kind of an intermediary point, which is good for defense, unless the other team has good flanking classes.
Yep, but right now I am watching Zelnick not getting boosted by a Mercy, mind you, so this is a little bit, you know, not quite as overpowered Pharah play as we might have saw before. Pharah working on her own merits, but still quite strong, and Zelnick, you know, just laying down that Pharah harassment. And we see that Lucio ult is going to come down, and actually False Reality getting pushed back a bit here. Pharah finding herself under pressure, she's going to go down, and this is Pimps, you know, coming back and just cleaning out this alley.
Huge ultimate combinations go down. Is the follow-up there? It does not appear to be.
Yeah, and just like that, you know, a little bit of a switch in the play after, and suddenly, you know, we have False Reality just rolling. It looked pretty good for Pimps there for a moment, and that just did not go their way towards the end.
Yeah, it's going to be, I mean, they're set up so far forward on this offense. Like, maybe they're not going to get a lot of kills here, and they're probably not, because it's just like a Genji and a Zarya. But what they're doing is distracting it while the rest of the team pushes the cart.
Yeah, and this cart is moving. It is getting a lot of speed, and I gotta tell you, False Reality is making a great amount of time here.
Yeah, that's
right now seeing.
Go ahead.
We're seeing the Pharaohs just kind of trade rockets here, back and forth, and you know, again, that payload is still moving. Hex. I'd say False Reality kind of needs to group up a bit, but they're in good shape.
I really will like what they did there with Genji too, because Genji, when he's in the back line, not only can he do a lot of damage, but he's also so distracting and so hard to kill.
Yep, and what an aerial barrage by like coming down from Pimps. That takes out 3 people on False Reality. Great heads-up Pharah play, and suddenly False Reality wishing that this wasn't their reality, as they just got almost full team wipe. No, I think that was a full team wipe.
Yeah, it looks like Pimps has had enough, and they're taking back this area. A great Lucio sound barrier, too. It gives you all the confidence to overextend, and not that they overextended there, but they could have chased kills had they wanted to, and they just took a huge position. They did just lose their Pharah.
Yeah, they're losing the Pharah, and, you know, False Reality coming back in here. Aerial Barrage coming down is going to kill the Reinhardt, is going to put some pressure on the back line. A big Reinhardt ult coming down from Cell. Cell clearing space, and wow, False Reality is rolling. I mean, this has been a game of wipes, so False Reality gets wiped, Pimps gets wiped, False Reality gets wiped, but when you're on attack, you're okay with that because you make such progress,
yes,
you know, while the other team is dead.
Soup Base's ultimate went down, and he took out the McCree, he took out the Mercy, and then, you know, the follow-up to it was everyone else got wiped out too.
Yep, and we have a big Mercy ult coming down from V, rezzing multiple people on Pimps, but Pimps kind of in trouble here. 2 people are down, and False Reality is rolling in. A big Zarya ult is going to go down, but I don't think they have the follow-up for that. And, oh, there, just as I say that, justice reigns from above. We had a very nice aerial barrage coming up for Durs, though he does die in the process.
It was a wonderfully timed follow-up, too, because you don't want to use it right when it was active, because the Transcendence was going down and the Lucio ult went down as well, so they did their best with the follow-up. Yep. Not going to be enough, though.
And I'll just note there, they just weren't able to get back in the point in time. They, people at False Reality said, we're just going to stay on this and we will be good.
Yeah, so what aggressive, a solid time there from False Reality.
I think there's about a 4 minutes even thereabouts, maybe like 4:02. I'm going to mark it at 4:02. And hope that we don't get to a point where it's like super close, because then we might have to be more scientific, but it seemed about 4:02 to me. And this Reinhardt play of the game coming in, so many people dying, just swinging the hammer. And a nice showing from False Reality there.
Yeah, definitely very super aggressive, and it's one of the first games that we haven't seen a Mercy on a team. I was talking about yesterday that we will see a Mercy on every single team, and maybe you'll see another support to help out here and there, but you will definitely see a Mercy on every single team. So, yet again, I've been proven wrong.
Yep.
But it really
that does happen.
But you made a good point. That's a really interesting combo with the Zenyatta and the Genji, because a Mercy doesn't really want to be where Genji does, right? But Genji still needs some healing, and he was very effective at not only disrupting their backline, but kind of just distracting him. He's so hard to kill. He's so slippery with his ninja agility. And that while he's back there doing it, and Zarya's back there helping out because she's got great self-sustain, everyone else is just pushing the cart.
Yep, and that was just some very, very nice play from Genji. I mean, Genji, he went in back there, and again, he got that triple kill on point A, and I think he was really the hero of that first push for False Reality. So the sides are going to switch up now. We are going to see False Reality on defense and Pimps giving their best option on attack.
Yeah, they're going to probably go with the 4 Widowmakers. We'll see how they round out the composition.
Yeah, no one expects the 6 Widowmakers. I mean, I certainly wouldn't expect it coming in.
No, and I'm not even going to go through what the valid strategy I think was a Widowmaker on this map, because I was duped into it twice yesterday, where I thought and I went into my very in-depth explanation of why I think having an early offensive Widowmaker is great on this map, and it never happened. It never came to fruition. So,
but now it's going to happen. You're going to feel like, darn it, the one time, it's like if you're gambling and playing craps, the one time you should have, just, gone for the right number, you just didn't. But we do have the defense rolling out here for False Reality. We have Ferg on Lucio, Soup Base on Genji, a defensive Genji. Surprising to see that. Chance on Zarya, Cell on Reinhardt, Zelnik on Pharah, and E-Fire Sky.
Yeah,
E-Fire Sky on the Zenyatta.
It kind of seems like they don't really care if they're offense or defense. Like, these are the heroes that they're good with, and these are the heroes that they like. That's their composition. Their Zenyatta is good, and Soup Base did great as Genji. So it seems like, what's a meta? I don't care. This is our team. This is how we roll.
Yep,
okay.
And, it can work out.
Yeah, on offense, we're going to see McCree is going to be played by Booner, Buds is going to be the Reinhardt, one Lucio is going to be Desro Lord, Durs is going to be playing Pharah, we've got a Diva, Mr. Lemon, and a second Lucio by V, so we're going to see a super fast push out here, all on the right side.
Yep, they are wasting no time. We see D-Rez just rushing in there. What an aggressive Pharah. Let's take a look at D-Rez as he comes in, but he does have that Discord Orb. He's just going to get taken out immediately. Discord Orb really, putting a damper on a Pharah's day. And meanwhile, we see Soup Base right here acting as the Genji, and he was so effective on point A last time while defending, but not... actually, he did not die. That's just the observer cam going nutty here. We're still on Soup Base, and he just right-clicks at Lucio to death. It is ninja time.
Yeah, Soup Base, feels free to do whatever he wants with this Zenyatta. And the Zenyatta being a solo healer on this with just, letting Soup Base go wild is fine because they have a Lucio as their second support. And, wow, the push is just completely shut down.
Soup Base is following Lucio all the way to the spawn. Lucio's just like, screw this. I was not paid enough for this. I'm out. But what a defense by False Reality. Really bring it to Pimps. On this defensive point.
And we are seeing some of the characters switch ups immediately. We're going to see a Winston come out for offense and also a Soldier 76, so already changes happening.
And we're going to take a look at Winston here as he sets up. Both teams at full strength. Pimp's trying to get their rhythm here, and wow, that Zariel is going far up. False Reality not really caring. They are taking the fight to them and then some. I mean, we are way past that first arch.
Yeah, the Zarya did force out a Lucio ult, which is about all it did there, and now we've got some time coming on the point for Pimps.
Yeah, I think maybe they went out a little bit too far. We'll see. I mean, right now there's still quite a bit of contention over the point, but False Reality maybe just overplaying their hand a little bit too hype. We do have Soup Base going in. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Dragon Blade was coming out soon.
Yeah,
but,
some nice kills in the back line, took out their Zenyatta. Pharah was dead and the Reinhardt is dead, so all you've got left is a Zarya, a Genji, and a Lucio, and that's generally not enough to hold on defense.
Yeah, and right now, this is not looking for them. They're not able to hold, and Pimps are going to get the payload moving. I'll going to be honest, False Reality looked very impressive, but I think they played their hand a little bit there. I mean, they pushed out a little bit too far. I think they could have held that for way longer, Hex.
It is such a fine line between an aggressive defense and overextending.
Yeah, and I think, if you have a Symmetra, that's one thing, because then you have the teleporter. And whoa, big flanking aerial barrage from Durs takes out 4 people. Durs so far in front saying, you know what? We're not going to let you set up False Reality. I'm going to come to the back and aerial barrage the ever-living crap out of you. So, wow, this is going to be a smooth sailing through the alley, first class, for Pimps.
In my mind, Kings Row and the bend in the road right there and Farrah barrages go hand in hand. I've seen some of the best Farrah barrages I've ever seen in my life at that flank right there.
Yeah, and right now we see Soup Base now trying to sort of set up again as Genji, very comfortable in the backline. We're gonna watch him again. Oh, the deflect on the Reaper ult doesn't even go down. Is able to take out the Reaper. Well played by Genji, showing his ninjutsu, but he's gonna get taken out by Durs. Durs raining death from above as Farrah. And I gotta say, Pimp's definitely looking very strong now after a shaky beginning.
A kind of odd transcendence by the Zenyatta there, I guess only just to try to stall out the card as much as possible, and then Lucio comes in with his ult just to try to stall out as well. And the Zarya ult comes down to, they're just trying to stall as much as possible in kind of a weird way. They're losing heroes here though.
Yeah, they are, and so many people are down for False Reality, and this is looking really nice for Pimps. Pimps, though, they are getting close to running out of time. They only have about 35 seconds here, so they got move. Even though this has been very impressive, one cannot forget that False Reality made a very impressive time of their own, and, Pimps has to move here.
Yeah, any sort of stall out might just end up losing them the round, but they are having 4x on that cart, and they are still in a good position to push here.
Yep, and the cart is moving, and they just gotta keep moving this as we go forward. We're watching Durs laying down a lot of pressure for the attacker side. Soup Base is taken out, Reinhardt is taken out, and Durs just going in, a big arrow barrage, just gonna take out one, gets the double kill. That's a lot of people down. Oh, is this gonna be a very narrow stopwatch victory? 4 seconds, 3 seconds, and yes! Pimps with the very, very narrow stopwatch victory. I think that's the first time I've seen a stopwatch victory that narrow, Hex. Wow.
Yeah, that was insane. They're calling it 1 second. I'm gonna go with their timer too, and I know that you have your timer up as well. But that was insane. This has to be the 4K behind the line, right?
Yeah, there's no way it's anything but this is just what a play, and this bought them the time they needed. Look at this. Justice reigns from above. What a flank. Durs with the heads up Farrah play. Wow.
That's a game-winning play right there. I mean, with how close it was, if they had to spend any time trying to cut through that defense, and we've seen teams get stalled out in those roads before. Wow, what a phenomenal barrage.
All right, I have to catch my breath after that game. I am ZP, I am joined by Hexagrams, and we'll be back in just a moment for map 2 of Pimps versus False Reality. Stay tuned. And we are back for map number 2 of False Reality versus Pimps. What a game that we just had there.
Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. So close. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I thought we got super hyped with, 5 divas, but games just keep getting better.
Absolutely. I mean, we thought 5 Divas was the plateau, but here we are on Dorado. It is going to be False Reality attacking first yet again. They want to set a good time, and man, their time was set really, really good last time, and then Pimps just came in with a literal last-second finish.
Yeah,
That was some amazing stuff.
we need to maybe verify with teams. I'm not entirely sure. They have their own clocks. I don't know actually if our result is entirely correct because I'm hearing False Reality might have actually took that one. Tooken.
Really?
Been done took. Also, we're gonna remake real quick, so we have a second to check on that.
Yeah, I mean, that was definitely a split-second finish. From my end, my clock wasn't 100% accurate. It did look like they got it with a few seconds to spare.
All right, which is also hilarious because you were like, I hope it doesn't come down to the seconds, and it's the first match we've got in the last 2 days that came down to
But
seconds.
that was all sorts of, I mean, either way, regardless of, I mean, to me it looked like that Pimps had it, but...
I would just confer with the team captains, just so, double check, and we're remaking anyway, so... I'm just gonna hang out in Twitch chat.
Yep. So we are confirming to see what went on there.
So I'll just take this time to plead with Blizzard to please give us a stopwatch mode so that we don't have to use antiquated technologies such as stopwatches on cell phones, stopwatches on computers. Put it in game.
Yeah, I mean,
please.
so... Yeah, the only problem with my timer is that my timer, like... It was match time.
Yeah, I mean, we got some people in chat using like game timer, so I'm not entirely sure if we want we just need to confer with the teams. I think the teams have their own timers and they had it kind of figured themselves as well. So,
Yep.
and they did an AFK. We're remaking anyway. It's the perfect time to do so. Just want to give a big shout out to everyone in Twitch chat. Thank you very much. We got so many big actual names and important people in Twitch chat. I saw Joshy here earlier, Fish Sticks. Guy's actually doing amazing Overwatch content. Thanks for supporting our stuff. And we show up to your tournaments as well, man. It's been so many good Overwatch things, and it's just phenomenal.
There's just so many people supporting the scene right now. I mean, everything from Twitch staff to people have great experience shoutcasting other games. Just in general, Overwatch is a game where you're just seeing this kind of merging with a whole bunch of different communities. Okay, so apparently my timer was a little bit off than the last time. Everyone's saying False Reality won, so it was a split second. They came so close. Pimps came so close to winning it, but it turns out False Reality had won that. So, well then.
Either way,
the problem of early timers, I suppose.
Yeah, why can't every team just be a stomp and a wipe? God, why do teams have to make it close and difficult on us?
Or just a little bit more lead time. That maybe 5 seconds.
I think you're doing a great job. I'm just here to nitpick and make your life difficult, apparently.
Absolutely. So we are ready. I have updated all the production stuff as needed, and we are good to go. Map 2 on Dorado, False Reality versus Pimps, and is False Reality up 1-0.
Yeah, we're just waiting for one player, and we're going back to Dorado, which you know what that means. You know why I'm going to be happy, right?
Why are you going to be happy on Dorado? Make the dramatic reveal.
It's the music. The Dorado music is the happiest music in the world.
And we get to hear it twice. We already heard it once on stream. Now we get to go and hear it a second time.
Yeah, it's going to be grand, man.
Absolutely. So right now we're just waiting for False Reality to get their 6 back into the game. A little bit of technical difficulties here. On the False Reality side, it is beta. These things do happen. So once he's back in game, we'll be starting on map 2 on Dorado. In fact, we're going to take a quick 1-minute break or a little bit less. Stay tuned. All right, and we are back with the GosuGamers weekly NA #1. We are waiting right now for False Reality versus Pimps to begin again. It looks like everyone is back into the game, and we're just about ready to go.
Yeah, a strange little bug going on with private games. Beta things, just beta things.
Yep, and Ferg does load in for False Reality, so I think we'll be starting this in short order. I'm pretty pumped. The last game was very, very close on both sides. I don't know who's going to take this, Hex.
So close it broke your clock, man. Like, that's how crazy that game was. This is some of the first action I've seen from either of these teams, and they seem to be as evenly matched as teams can be, really.
Yeah, definitely some good play from both teams here. And again, it's going to be False Reality on the attacking side to start with. And I'm curious to see if we're going to see any change-ups in team comps, but it looks like, Supebase has the Genji locked in again, and I don't think he's trolling us, Hex.
No, I think he probably will be playing his Genji, and I think Firesky will be playing his Zenyatta. It's just a matter of what the other team wants to do, or what they're going to round out their composition. They're doing double Widowmaker, and I'm not falling for that either.
Not falling for anything, You've just had your heart broken one too many times.
Not too many times. It's a valid strat, man. Just go Widowmaker in the beginning, shoot some heads, and then switch to something more useful. It's a good strat.
So right now, it looks like, despite what you might have thought, the defensive team is not running 6 Torbjorns. They are switching off, and their full real roster looks like we're going to have Mr. Lemon on the Roadhog, Booner on the Soldier 76, V on Mercy, Buds on Reinhardt, Durs on Pharah, and Desro Lord on Lucio.
Yeah, that is the team Snapchat Pimps, and this is their map choice, and they're choosing to defend first. It's kind of interesting to see that there's not really a consistent, our map we're going to defend, our map we're going to attack. Teams are switching it up. They all have their own preferences here. So on the attacking team, which is False Reality, we've got Firesky is going to be playing Zenyatta, Genji is going to be played by Supebase, Cell is going to be on Reinhardt, Ferg is going to be on Lucio, Zelnick is on Pharah, and Chance is going to be on Tracer. See how well I did that? Waited for it all settled.
It was good, man. It was good. So we're going to take a look at the Genji we're going to start with. He was very exciting on the last map, and we're going to see what Supebase does in the very beginning here. Already, just poking the backline, and I'll tell you, False Reality is moving the payload, and this defensive point should come as no surprise. This is the same defensive point that both Enigma and not Enigma and Hubris ran earlier today.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because we did cast the EU tournament yesterday, and the EU did not hold up here at all. EU held through the arc, so this is definitely the NA defense strategy we're seeing.
Yep, and we just saw a very quick Genji pick on the Roadhog. Roadhog not used the best target for Genji, but he just sliced and diced him, and really, False Reality just going through here in record time.
Yeah, unstoppable right now, it seems. We've got the Pharahs fighting through the air supremacy, but Pimp's 5 dead right now.
Yep, a lot of that had to do, a lot had to do with Pharah, and a lot had to do with Genji's Dragon Blade slicing and dicing that Reinhardt up, and I gotta tell you, False Reality is moving very quickly. This is almost a repeat of map 1 for how quickly they're moving forward on the attack right now.
No answer to this Genji. What do you think they should do here?
What do you think they should do here? It's hard to say. Really, the Genji with the Harmony Orb is hard to deal with. McCree would help them. They are not running a McCree right now. I think a McCree would shut down some of Supebase's shenanigans, but Supebase getting all sorts of value here. The Dragon Blade is out yet again. He is ready to slice and dice, but no, Booner says, you know what? I'm Soldier 76, and I'm winning this war.
Yeah, a Helix Rocket will beat a sword at long distance.
Yep, yeah, it's an age-old thing. Rocket beats sword.
Yeah.
And speaking of rockets, we have Durs right now raining down a lot of rockets as defensive fairy. He's sort of in a war with Zelnick, as False Reality pushing up in very, very short order here.
Yeah, I mean, Durs has been kind of having to run alone as his Pharah, which is interesting because the Mercies had to stay further back to keep the team alive.
Yep, and what a phenomenal defensive Zarya ult coming down from Pimps, and that is going to be not 2, not 3, but 4 people down for False Reality, and Zarya is just sitting here, is like, wait a second, where did my team go?
Yeah, and I love this game because everything just gets really quiet when stuff like that happens. Like, there's no ambient noise, no chaos or anything. It's like, well, I guess that cart push is halted for now.
None at all. And let's take another look at let's take a look at Zelnick. Zelnick's been a little bit. Zelnick in this Pharah v Pharah fight is going to eat a rocket from Durs, is going to have to back out just a bit. So one of the problems with the Genji-centric strategy is I think a little bit less heals going out to their team, a lot being focused on the Genji. Wow, what a great midair from Zelnick. Is going to take out Durs, and False Reality is running through here, in part from that great midair from Zelnick. Nice shot.
Yeah, Pimp's holding up right now just on the strength of their Lucio ult, although they, I think, are going to lose their tank here in this fight, and another Zarya ult comes down in a huge follow-up with the aerial barrage.
And they're rolling, but Pimps with the clutch Mercy Res, they don't want to give up this space just yet, and Zelnik is getting taken out by Duras, and Duras has justice of his own raining from above here, and multiple people are down on the False Reality side. They have 3 down right now, Hex.
Yeah, the Heroes Never Die did save them on the res. Now, they are kind of holding the cart, but it is scattered. Each team just not really in a position to do a full committal or of either offense or defense. So right now, it's just a melee between Mercy and whoever wants to try to touch the cart.
But there's the thing, we've been seeing Supebase kind of picking up the scraps. He's sort of inconsistent in the back. He's on the Mercy, he's on the Lucio. They need to get some damage on him. The Dragon Blade comes out. He is slicing, dicing, but no, suddenly Rocket beats Sword Mark II.
But it doesn't even matter because it's exactly what we saw on the first map. That Genji's back there, and he might not even have any designs on trying to live through it. Sure, it's all bonus, but it took 4 people back there to stop him, and what happened during that time? Cart got pushed.
Yep, and we have a nice defensive Zarya ult going down. That's going to be 2 people, 3 people down on False Reality. No, sorry, 5 people down on False Reality. It's actually only the Genji left, and I don't care what the Jitsu he has, he is not winning that 1v6.
And it gets real quiet again.
Yep. These teams are pretty good. I mean, this has happened both maps now where they've just sort of like wiped each other out multiple times. I mean, suddenly 6 people dead. And both teams have done it to each other.
Yeah, I mean, when a team wins a fight, they win the fight definitively, for sure.
Oh, and we are seeing a very nice push by Final Reality, or False Reality. They're rushing in off that Lucio. A big Zarya ult going down. 3 people stuck from Pimps, and Genji is getting in there. 2 people are going to get taken out from Pimps. And this is a very, very nice push coming out from False Reality.
Genji in the backlines with a 4K!
Wow, they were just operating on all cylinders there. Everything from the Zarya ult to the Genji in the back. And this is going to be a lot of free payload pushing going here. And Pimps really need to solidify if they want to stop this.
This Genji with a Harmony Ord, he's getting Zarya shields too. Again, Zarya and Genji are pushing forward, and it doesn't even matter if they live. Their job is not to live or even really get picks there. It's to let the room breathe for the cart.
Yep, and that is a nice Reinhardt coming down from Cell. Gonna hit 3 people on the Pimp side. False Reality still pushing in. Note that Zarya was taken out a little bit early in the fight, but it doesn't matter because they're still pushing in. Reinhardt swinging his hammer, making space. So many people down on the Pimp side, and this might be the game, Hex.
It's going to be super hard to defend here. They don't really have the ultimates up to defend. They've got Resurrection. They've got Zarya's ult maybe, but no follow-up to it, and I don't see...
Oh, let's break it down, though. A last stand coming out from Pimps. Zelnik, the aerial barrage, trying to break them off of the point, but we see Pimps swarming the entire point right now. People dying on both teams. 2 people down for False Reality, and Pimps might be holding here just in the nick of time, but both teams in the middle of the brawl.
Yeah, the Zarya ult was enough to hold them. Now it does seem like they are 4 down again. That res isn't up.
Yep,
we're seeing divas. We're seeing divas.
They're learning, they're adapting. A big res coming out for Pimps, and maybe we'll see more divas. A gigantic Zarya ult, though, coming out from False Reality. They want to clean these people out as much as well. The Dragon Blade is out. Genji is slicing and dicing, but Pimp's still on top of it. No, everyone just going to die in one short order. False Reality completing the map. I think a few speed bumps around the way, but a pretty impressive round all in all.
Yeah, I got a reported time of 6:13.
Yep, they're saying the time is 16. Let's take a look at Cell in his play of the game for the attackers. He just got so much value off that ult. That was a 3 ult, and the Flame Strike after, or Fire Strike afterwards, just doing so much damage, and that definitely is play of the game worthy. Yep, and 6:13 is the match time. It actually does show in the upper left, so we're going to use that for now. We're not going to do an active timer, but we will do the match timer in the top. So 6:13 is the time that Pimps has to beat should they wish to get past Final Reality, or at least force a map 3.
Yeah, what they really have to do is figure out an answer to that Genji with his Zenyatta. It's the easiest Zenyatta job I've ever seen. You got one guy who's getting the heals the game, and then you just discord people. Of course, he's playing the Zenyatta well, he's not dying, so he doesn't have to really refresh those that often, but it's just the Genji with the Harmony Ord almost constantly, and there seems to be almost no answer for it. I mean, do you run a Torbjorn here? Do you run a Mei? Do you try to just deal with that? Because it's been a big problem for them.
It's hard to say. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what they decide to switch up to here. You know, Overwatch does have quite a bit of variety of strategy. I mean, already we're seeing here from False Reality that they are running the Genji. That we haven't, we didn't really see not Enigma or Hubris run earlier in the tournament, so the variety is interesting. And right now, we are just setting up on Dorado. This is side number 2. And now it is going to be Pimp's time to attack against False Reality. And let's see what False Reality brings on the defensive end.
Waiting for them to assemble their heroes. We've seen a lot more diversity of heroes today than we did yesterday in the Euro tournament. I'll say that much at least.
Definitely a good bit of hero diversity across the board here. And we're going to reverse the sides, and we are good.
You know what's the opposite of diversity is who Soup Base and Fire Sky are going to play.
Yeah, they have not been switching off too much. Soup Base really loving his Genji. He is one with the ninja way, and his Genji play has been impressive in the series thus far.
And we've seen double Zaryas too coming out for both. I guess I'll go ahead and just read this defense. I already have it memorized pretty much. Soup Base is going to be on Genji. Verge is going to be on Lucio. Cell is going to play Reinhardt. Zelnick is going to be Pharah. Fire Sky is going to be on Zenyatta. And Chance is going to play Bay Zarya.
Yep, and for the attacking side, should they not switch up and do anything weird, we're going to have Mr. Lemon on Diva, V on Lucio, Booner on Soldier 76, Buds on Reinhardt, Desperate Lord on Winston, and Durs on Pharah.
An interesting composition. It's not double support. We're going to see triple tank and some damage behind it.
Yep, and that is a starting bell. Both teams are out right now, and Durs wasting no time, getting a lot of air and raining down rockets already. But he's not taking out just yet. But he is still in there. He's taking a little bit covered by the payload. And both teams already brawling. But look at this Genji. Genji's in the backfield, and he's just trying to put pressure onto their team. He does take out Reinhardt. I think he may have taken 76 as well, and Pharah is feeling the burn right now.
Yeah, they did commit 2 tanks to take this upper ground to the left, but really didn't get a whole lot done. They got a pick on, and now they're going to revert back to the cart and get some time down it. But they sent both of their mobile tanks, Diva and Winston, to the upper left to take out one player.
Yeah, and Genji is eventually going to get taken down. That's a nice Genji play, but, the respawn is so much closer for Pimps here, and they're just going to get the reses up, get on top of the point, and they're going to push us to the first Archway of Doom. This choke really oftentimes, stumping teams as they try and get through.
And I think when we were trying to figure out what is the response to Genji, I think Winston is a decent, half response to Genji. You get close to him, you try to maybe lock down and protect yourself in an area. It might be what they're trying to do. Their Diva also.
We're seeing Durs right now with a lot of offensive pressure as Pharah. He does not have that Mercy boost that we saw in earlier sides, but, pretty nice attack from Pimps going on. They're still at full strength, and this cart is just rolling, especially with the aid of Lucio ult.
They are rolling it through. Soup Base is still in the back lines. They had him before, and they could not take him down. He's super slippery, but we're seeing ults go down on each side here.
Yeah, right now, definitely False Reality not wanting to give this up too easily, but they might have a choice. A nice Zarya ult coming down for False Reality, followed up by the Aerobarrage of Zelnick. That is going to wipe out everyone, and a sort of statement combination of ults there by False Reality, keeping things clear and knocking Pimps back to their spawn point.
Yeah, and that is a huge hold right there, too. The cart was almost there, then they get a little extension, the spawns change, and wow.
Yep, and we're seeing both teams setting up again, and they're going to have to get through that Arch of Doom yet again. And right now we're seeing Soup Base. Right now he's sort of on the front line. I'm going to expect him to sort of dash to the back line soon, and there it is. The Dragon Blade is out. He's slicing. Is he going to get the Mercy pick? He does get the Mercy pick. Nice value from Genji. He dies in the progress, but he leads a charge that leads to 4 people from Pimps getting taken out in short order.
Yeah, and you'll trade a Genji for Mercy all day, every day. There's absolutely no reason why you wouldn't, and just causing havoc in the back line still.
Yeah, and the payload is slowly moving back. It is actually high noon. I'm not sure where that high noon is coming. It's coming down from Booner right now, and he's going to take out. No, he didn't even take anyone else on the defensive side, but that does provide a little bit of distraction. And Pimps are rushing back in here. They want to take this point. They have to beat a very strong time set by False Reality. And right now we're just seeing a lot of the creep pressure coming down from Booner. Booner trying to make space for his team. Lucio is going to go down for the attackers, and he has to be careful. He kind of has to back up here because so many people are down for Pimps, but there is the Mercy res, Hex.
It is a huge res, and they have to be feeling a sense of urgency right now. They can't lose this map or they're out of the tournament.
Yep, that reverse map so close to the point that we thought Pimps actually took it for a moment. False Reality winning by a second, but it's looking at Pimps is going to bring it up to the point here. They do have control over this payload, but Chance buying a lot of time as Tracer, just sort of being a nuisance and, sure, she might die, but he just fought valuable seconds for his team.
Yeah, and that has been their strategy all game. They are definitely playing the game with the clock in mind. I really admire their style here. They're absolutely causing distractions to move the cart. The cart is their top priority. I mean, kills are flashing when you play the game, but carts win you tournaments.
Yep. And right now, Pimp's only with about 2.5 minutes left to get this cart to the thing, and that is a long way to go. We have a high noon coming down. It is going to take out no one on the defending team, but Zelnick going to go down to other fire, and, you know, Pimp's still kind of moving here.
Never die.
Yep, Pimp's still with some good pressure on the cart. The resurrection does come off for our defending team, False Reality.
Yep, and we see Zelnick now is going to get rezzed and is going to continue laying down that fair pressure. The fair pressure is so effective. He's getting a lot of value. Those rockets are splashing for quite a bit of damage. He's going to take out, you know, that kill in melee range. And right now, False Reality actually kind of pushing into Pimps here.
Yeah, and we do have a really important change-up is that False Reality is now running a Reaper. Chance is going to be on the Reaper now, and with the triple tank composition, he's doing a ton of work. Although they are now back at double tank, but triple again.
Yeah.
Anyway, doesn't matter. Reaper is an absolute tank killer, and that change is absolutely significant.
Yeah, he's not just a tank killer, he's also a McCree killer. He ran into McCree, and what a nice Death Blossom. Gonna take out the Mercy. He's gonna have to run from the Raging Winston, just a little bit too much health there. But Chance already getting a lot of Reaper value early on the switch, and might have overgone this. He's gonna have to Wraith Form out. Trying to live, McCree in hot pursuit, Winston in hot pursuit, and a lot of pressure on him. Lucille is gonna go down for the defenders right now, and both teams kind of brawling over the point.
Yeah, maybe the tank's a little too aggressive there. The Winston went in and the Reinhardt went in, and then they got taken out in short order, and without any tanks up, the rest of the team's absolutely exposed, and they're not going to be able to get to the cart at all.
Yeah, and I gotta say right now, I think we're getting to the point where I think False Reality might have this on time. You know, only a minute is left, and I don't think a minute is gonna be long enough for Pimps to push us here, even if they're all in the cart. I mean, that's a very long distance to go.
Even
so I think
6x.
barring just wipe after wipe, I think this is gonna be False Reality moving on to the GosuGamers NA Weekly semifinals. What a nice air barrage here coming out. Just, again, just such defensive presence. And Zelnick's going to get rezzed on top of it. Pimp's really struggling to push forward here, and this is pretty rough for Pimps at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to, you know, keep repeating myself, but they just almost never had an answer. But what was, again, just super impressive by False Reality is that they're not playing the other team. They're playing the cart. They're playing the clock. And they really did their strategy based around how do we keep the other people away from the objective so that we can push it.
And we just saw Chance there kind of going full superstar, dropping a Death Blossom on the 3 people. Actually killed 3 in a 1v6 situation, but it doesn't matter. GG's are about to be called. False Reality is going to move on. And nice showing by False Reality. They definitely picked it up on Dorado.
Yeah, I mean, the first game was so close, but I mean, they kept with their strategies, they kept with their composition, and it worked out really well for them. They're going to move on to the semis.
Yep, and we will be staying with the side of the bracket, and we will bring you more from False Reality as they go against their semifinal opponent, and we'll have that for you in just a moment. We are going to take a quick break right now. And again, just a reminder, I am ZP. I am joined by Hexagrams. These are weekly tournaments hosted by GosuGamers. We are going to be hosting these every week, both NA and EU. The EU tournament was yesterday. The NA tournament is today. And hopefully you'll join us every week as we bring you this content. With that, we're going to be taking a short break. See you in a few minutes.